As I was showing you, it's time to get a gray coverage. You can see it very well here in the camera, but I have a lot of gray hairs all over, and about every 2 to 3 weeks I cover it. It's a great product, and I really recommend you to use it. It lasts and it sticks very well, and you won't have any more gray hairs. You won't see, even especially in these areas, and you can see that it's time to cover it. So I have added half of the product into a container, and you have to mix it with a volume 20 cream, and you just have to put a little bit of it, not so much. Here, I'll show you. We don't want it to be too liquidy. Even that, I think, is going to be too liquid. Okay. As it was a little bit too liquid, I decided to put a little more product in it. So I'm going to mix it up. So you want to cover your gray hairs. And now I have prepared some products, some hair dye with this brand Argan Oil number 3N, which is dark brown. It covers very well your gray hair. You can see it very well here on the camera, but I have a lot of gray hairs, and I'm gonna start with my gloves. I'm gonna put this on. First, you should add all over the outside area, because that's the worst grays that you have, and from there you will do it with this comb. You will start just splitting your hair into parts that I'll show you in a minute. As you can see, the product is brown already, and you have to put it on as soon as possible. Put some latex gloves on, because you're gonna use your fingers. It's the easiest way to use this. You can also use one of those combs that they sell at the store to do your hair dye. Make sure everything is thoroughly mixed with some volume number 20. And now I'm gonna get to it. Just get a little bit like this from the spoon. Make sure to wear a t-shirt that if you spill some on your body, it's gonna be a t-shirt that you don't use, because it's gonna stain. There are some stains already on this t-shirt, even though I've been doing it for a while, but once in a while you can have an accident. So it's very good to wear a t-shirt that you don't use, and also cover the surfaces where you're gonna be working on. I'm working on the dining table right now, so I put some newspaper to cover it, to protect it, just in case I spill some hair dye on it. As you can see, I'm gonna cover all of this area. Look, I just grab it with my fingers like this. It's a little bit messy, but you can cover everything. Don't worry that you don't have to spread it like so many times. Even if it's only one time, it'll hold it, the hair dye, the product, onto your gray hairs. Especially this product that is very rich, and it'll cover it the first time. That's why I like this product so much. This will start working in 10 minutes. Everything will start getting dark. The dark brown is almost black. It's a very dark color, and I really like it. The way of dyeing your hair is great this way, because even if you put a little bit of it on your roots, it's liquid, so it gets all the way like an inch and a half to the back of where you're applying the product. Especially to me, these parts are worse. I'm gonna cover behind your ear. You just apply a little bit there in those difficult parts to access. And I see some parts missing here. Be sure to cover everything, because there are very little hairs that you will see gray when you didn't cover them. So a little patience and a little detail there, it makes the whole difference. Let me finish the other side. So it's important to see your skin will get some hair dye, and it will get brown if you don't wash it off. Just with some soap and water you can wash those off. Be careful where you put it, like around your hair here, around your neck. Make sure to wash it off. So how do you put hair dye in the rest of your hair? Mainly to start in an order so that you know that you've covered everything. Part your hair in half. You see there, you can see a lot of the gray hair. Okay, like this, and then you can start from one side to the other. Okay, so I'm gonna start applying some, just, you just put a little bit of the product like this and start where you left off, and just stop it to the back. Take a little more. This is one of the places, depending where you part your hair, when you're combing your hair, that's the part that you want it more well covered. So make sure you cover it well. Let me see, I'm gonna try to. You do like just a little bit of hair to the side. Okay, so I'm in the second part where I'm just covering along my head finally. Now I have covered all of the front side here, and also make sure to cut it to the back because you have a lot of gray hairs on the back, and just make sure you apply some product there. Trust me, the liquid will reach everywhere, so just make sure that you spread it in that area. So we're gonna continue doing this process until all is covered, and then I'll show you how this is looking, because by now you've seen that how lighter it is in comparison with the rest of the hair. You don't see very well the gray hairs here on the camera, but you definitely can see some decoloration. And now I just apply some more product on this side. I'm gonna cover all of this side following the same process, and then I'll start to the other side. Okay, so we are this far. Just keep doing that, a little section at a time. You will see that here the hair is dry, and just apply the product the same way and keep going. It has to cover the area where you're applying the hair dye for sure, so make sure you cover it. Continue. Pretty much I have covered the one side, and it takes me, this process takes me about an hour to cover all of my head, but I have a lot of hair. Still have this much to cover it, the rest. From where you left in the middle, just cut your hair a little bit to the side and start from there where you left off, which I see that some hair dye already got there and it has already dyed it nicely. But so we're just gonna put a little bit of product in that area and a little more product towards the back. The back this time is not so important to me. That's why I don't get more product. I'm just gonna keep doing what we were doing on this side to the other side. As you can see, not all of my hair is covered. That's not necessary to cover it. Just the roots, mainly the roots, and it gets quite of a lot of the area covered anyway when you're applying the hair dye. So let's continue moving with the comb. You're gonna take the next section and just apply some more hair dye. It's important to remember that in those areas where you have very stubborn gray hairs, you're gonna have to leave the product on it a little longer. They say 15 minutes, but I usually leave it 20 to 25 minutes. Now it's been a while. It's been almost 45 minutes where this has been on, so this area is very well covered, but you know, this area I haven't done yet, and here I have some very stubborn gray hair roots over here. So after I apply the product, I will leave it on for a while so that it really gets hold and leaves a good color on it. So now I have covered all what I wanted to cover just with my hands, and it's important to have this comb to split your hair in all the parts that you need to put product on. And as you can see, it's everywhere. Now, if you can see, it has covered my roots where you can see them very well. And then I will show you how it looks after I wash my hair. Usually the instruction says to not wash your hair after you dye your hair, but usually you shouldn't wash your hair before you dye it, so that means that your hair is gonna be dirty. And I don't wanna leave my hair dirty. So I do put one-time shampoo and some conditioner, and it looks absolutely perfect. So I will show you the results after I take a shower. I'm gonna leave the product on for a little bit, probably 15 minutes or so, because I just applied that on this side and it needs to grab the color on those gray hairs, and it's gonna look fantastic. I was checking for how well covered the product was, and you know, there are some stubborn gray hairs that you have, so check it out and put some more product there, even though it looks brown enough. Okay, so I went to wash my hair, and this is the results of the hair. What do you think? I am so happy because you cannot see even one gray hair, especially here, you know, where you see the coloration and gray hairs. It covered everything very well. I can show you around here, and it just looks really good. Let me know if you have any questions, and if you enjoyed this video, please follow me and subscribe.